Happy afternoon. I had to start a minute or two late because my dog was barking at the UPS man outside. So take a drink, relax just for a minute. I have some announcements before I do a project today. 3 announcements. Announcement 1, it is our Hostess Club month. So if you are a member of the Hostess Club, which many of you are, this is our last ordering month of the year. And if you want to continue, I'm going to assume that you want to continue unless you tell me otherwise. Please let me know if you decide you don't want to pick it back up again in January. But this is everything, every catalog I get is better and better. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to keep going. This is, I'm making this project a second page to this today, but before I do that, I want to tell you a couple of announcements. Announcement 1 is a little weird, but this Fiskars trimmer, this is the Sure Cut rail trimmer. So it has a rail edge and it has the cut the blades that go around the rail. This particular trimmer that takes these blades is no longer going to be made by Fiskars. They've decided not to make it. All I can think is that, you know, you would think maybe they're going to remodel it or redo it, or I don't know what they would add to it because it's one of my favorite trimmers. It has like the swing arm, but they're not going to make it anymore. So I wanted to announce that in case you have one so that you can go online. I have had to buy my extra blades at Amazon, and they're going to get crazy expensive, as you know, because if they don't make the trimmer, they're not going to be making the blades. So I just wanted to let you know that is going to be the case. And Close to My Heart is only going to sell the one with the single slide. You know what I'm talking about. So that's an announcement I just wanted to make. The second announcement is, oh my gosh, it's November 1st. Hi, Stephanie. If you go to my website and click on these 3 lines in the corner, you can choose, you know, shop or promotions or more or whatever. Choose promotions and you will get a Gnome for All Seasons is our new promotion. So these are the promotions active right now. A Gnome for All Seasons is, you know how I told you when the new catalogs came out, they started with a fall gnome set. Now this is the winter set. And oh my gosh, I love this paper. It's so pretty, you guys. Look at this. It's got this blue snowflake and this plaid, and the sticker sheet is so cool. And again, there's only a couple of things that have gnomes on them. And so you can use this for winter, not just gnome related things. And it has this all over print and a stripe. And then the hero print is a snowman gnome theme and a regular winter theme. And so this special is like all the other specials. You can get the paper and stickers. You can get just the paper. You can get just the cardstock. And there's two special stamp sets just for this special. And one of them you can get with thin cuts. One is a message set. And then you can get the gnome thin cuts. And they have some acrylic shapes that are snowflakes. You can get them in bundles. So you can get a giant bundle that will do most of the projects. You can do the scrapbooking workshop with or without the gnomes and the stamps, and you can get card making. So you can get this in a lot of different ways. I personally ordered the paper, a couple packs of paper, and this stamp set with the thin cuts and some of the snowflakes. I didn't order the gnomes. Gnomes, I don't know. These gnomes are particularly cute. I just want to say, I really like them. The other stamp special that's kind of a big deal, I haven't ordered it yet, I'm still deciding, is the ornament sets where you can order them in different colors, already pre-cut, and there's different shapes. So there's like an elongated ornament and two round ornaments. One has swirls and the other one has like these stars. And you get like a SVG, so you can cut more images on your own, or you can just buy them in paper and make your own. Anyway, there's options here, people. So whatever you want to make, that is available. I've been getting some messages from people about things selling out. I understand how frustrating it is. Close to my heart in there. Try to keep the, in their attempts to keep the warehouse not stuffed full of old stuff. They're keeping less of it, and they're no longer going to carry a stamp set through the entire year. So if it sells out and the catalog is done, it's done. You're not going to see it. And so one of the things that sold out is that Nailed It set. I think it was in this catalog. You know, the home improvement set. The other thing that's a hot commodity is this, boy, people are looking for this everywhere. This blooming frame card front, it's out. So please, this one is sold out. A lot of the card making sets are sold out. This paper pack is sold out. They're not bringing that back. It is done. Because the catalog cycle's done, it's retired. But now we're on to this one. And so one of the things that I showed in my live that I was really excited about is, I can tell you there's several things in here I expect will be selling out, okay? So I just want to answer a few questions. I'm going to go from back to front. These, I've been getting some questions about these. They look enormous, right? But they're not. These are 6x6 pages. So you can see they're like not even 3x3, maybe 2x3. So I just want you to know they're not humongous. It's possible, you know, the embossing folder that goes with the stencils, this whole set, what happened with that Christmas holly one is the embossing folder sold out. The stencils are still available, but the folder sold out, and that may happen again. And the fact is, you can make a very nice card just using the stencils. So I have these, I bought these. I'll show you at some point just cards making this in case the embossing folder sells out. Just so you know, you can do it either way. It's not that big of a deal. This is going to be, I believe, the #1 seller. And if anything sells out, it's going to be this. Now, a lot of people have already jumped online and said, it's not there. It's sold out already. No, it's not sold out. This thin cut bundle this thin cut right here, they only got enough in for Maker Preview. They just got a few sets to start with, and they're waiting for their big shipment. And so the big shipment of this just hasn't come in yet. So that holds up. It makes it look like this isn't in yet. And the bundle of everything, it holds it up too. So, you know, don't freak out because you don't see this yet. A lot of you are waiting for this. I think this is going to be huge. I'll be watching for it. And if you're at work or you just don't think you have the money today when it comes in, let me know. I'll buy it in your name and you can pay me back for it. I'll be watching for it. I think those are the biggies. This one is showing to be really popular. And let me see. I don't know. I think the big thing is the card making kits. This set right here, there's something about those pine cones and stuff. This is going to be a biggie. And the ornament set, I think, may sell out. This card making kit here. There you go. I think everything is a risk, but Monica has said that she's going to try to make sure everything stays in during the featured month. So the card making kits, this is December and this one is November. So she's going to make sure you can get this through November. It may sell out in December and they won't order more. So anyway, that's the crazy world right now of close to my heart. And it is a little crazy to think about. Okay, so this page, I really wanted to share this page and I was gonna, recreate it with you, but what happened was it was a one-page layout, okay? And this one-page layout was one that we did during our catalog launch as makers, and I absolutely love it, but I need 2 pages. I need my pages to be double page layouts. Majority of time, I don't have just one set of pictures, right? Oh, look how pretty my nails go with that. Wow, that kind of goes. Those are like, this is like Harbor. I'm just saying, could work with that. Anyway, I want to show you a few things about this layout, and I want to talk about this Silver Bells paper. So one thing about this layout, well, let me show you the paper first, because I have a plan. All right, so first of all, the sticker sheet, you'll notice it has foil on it, and a lot of the foil is silver, but it also has gold, silver and gold. See, like that best is in gold and the rest is that in silver, and this is in gold and the top strip is in silver. So there's a lot of silver and gold on it, but when you look at the actual papers, it looks like silver and gold. This looks like gold, but it's actually not. It's actually this color scheme. So we've got charcoal. This is a lighter version of charcoal. You have toffee, which is that there, and linen and mink. So this is our color scheme. Let me flip these over. And you can see how the colors come into play with linen and mink and toffee and charcoal. And it makes a really elegant look. But because there's some foils and because there is some blinginess to the papers and the stickers, one of the things I was kind of thinking was that it would be fun to add some metallics. And I looked online and these are all still available. And so here we have the silver foil metallics, which I think would look amazing with these papers. Let me just kind of show you this layout and see, like, it would be cool to add this print somehow to this paper pack. It has, if you want to make it super contemporary, you could add the silver dots. There's some stars. This pack is like 6 sheets, I think. There's a metallic plaid and this fun crazy stripe and some hearts. So you have a lot of options here if you decide to go the metallic route. And I was thinking with, I don't have enough room on my desk. Wah. Okay, hold on. So I was thinking like this paper with silver metallic would look really cool. I'm definitely gonna make some layouts doing that. Now the other metallic that I picked up, I have the gold metallic. Now these are left over from like a couple years ago. I don't know if they just didn't sell well or if they had to order so much that they ended up with it like on their shelves for a long time. But just imagine some of these, like this print with this fun like gold metallic, and there's you can do the dots. I'll show you the prints in here in case you decide to go for it. There's this real soft, I call this like a wallpaper print. To me, it reminds me of a wallpaper print. But, you know, this would look just gorgeous with that. Aw, I love it. There is sort of an animal print look. Imagine that, and then you add toffee and mocha or something to it. Ah, gosh, that's so pretty. See, I've got to do it. And then there's roses, which I don't know if I'd add roses to it or not, but, and then this cool geometric. So you can make it super contemporary if you want. Lots of options with the metallics. So I just thought that was kind of a neat idea. Okay, let me clean this up and then we'll start our project. Gosh. See, I have lots of plans. Will I get to all these plans during this month or two? I don't know. But I kind of want to do something, a little more fall on Friday. And I'm thinking about recreating that cool thankful page on the stamp of the month page with all the words and things on it for Thanksgiving. Okay, so let's talk about this page that we made in our launch. So the background base page is actually mink, okay? And then on top of this mink page, there is a corner to corner triangle of toffee. It's a little hard to see because I have my camera a little close, but have you ever tried to make a cut from corner to corner before? It's tricky. Now, to save paper, if you're like me, you might just cut 2 like 1-inch strips or something and just miter that and just have a strip there and a strip there, but then you'd be able to see it here in the corner. I don't know if it matters to me that much, but I thought I'll show you how to cut that. And then the next, so let's start there. Let's just start there. All right. So I have our piece of toffee paper, and we're going to go from this corner to this corner, and I'm going to hold it weird so that it will be on camera because I know we're barely on camera. To do this, I grab a pencil and 2 rulers. So I have like my close to my heart ruler, and you can see even my 14-inch ruler does not go across this page. Now I could sort of eyeball it, but you don't have to, because the other thing you can do is you can pull in a second ruler and line it up at the corner and line this one up at the corner, and then where they meet, kind of like you have a big thick ruler here and you're scooching it around, okay, and you're lining up the 2 corners. So what that does is it extends your ruler, right? It extends your rulers. So then you can, you know, draw your line from corner to corner, and I hold that in place just like that. So by putting the 2 rulers together, you can, you know, extend your ruler quite a bit. Now, I don't have a trimmer where this will work. I don't have like, I don't know, is that 16 inches, 17-inch ruler? I do not have a trimmer quite that big. So I do have to cut that with scissors or something, but at least I have my line now. And the other thing I could do with that ruler is I could use like a cutting mat and just zing across it. So that's an option. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut, and I'm gonna just cut across my page just like this. So that's a neat little trick that they showed us during that. It looks so huge. This thing looks enormous. It's like that would never fit on my page. That's huge, but it is the right size. So I'm just gonna erase that little end there. Okay, put that aside, and then we're gonna start with our base of our mink, and they used the light side of mink, so I want to continue using the light side of mink. And then the toffee, there's the dark, there's the light. They used the dark, so I'm going to use the dark side of toffee, and I'm going to make this one angle a different direction, just because I can, just to make it a companion page. It could be identical, it would be fine. All right, I don't need that much adhesive really, but basically what you want to do is you just want to adhere it in the corner so it lines up really nice. How was everybody's Halloween? Was it great? We had a lot. I'm shocked. It was so cold here. As a matter of fact, I'm back to my triple layers today. I've got a t-shirt, a long sleeve shirt, and a sweatshirt. I have all my layers on today. I'm cold. And I'm really cheap. I don't want to pay for heat. All right, so there's that, and there's that. And I like to entertain my dog, so I have my door propped open so he can see out while I'm live, so that makes it colder in here. The next layer is a layer of white, and this is, I cut it already. It is 11 and a half by 11 and a half. And actually, might be 11 and 3/4. 11 and 3/4 by 11 and 3/4. I don't think it would matter, but if you want to make it just like me, 11 and 3/4. And I'm just going to go on that and put it down. So we had about 40 trick-or-treaters. In our neighborhood, that's quite a lot because we have no sidewalks and no lights. And it's a little, it's a little creepy to walk around in a, I would say, poorer type neighborhood in the dark with no sidewalks and no lights. But people love the stuff I put out in my yard. And so I get people coming to the house just because we give away full-size candy bars and pixie sticks and stuff like that. So fun. Okay, so there's our beginning. Now the next layer, I want it to look the same on both sides, just like mirrored kind of. So there is a piece here that is 6 inches long of our hero print, and that's this one. And it looks like the words are multi-directional, but the bells are up and down, vertical. You could get that sideways pretty easy, so pay attention if you cut that. This one is multi-directional. I don't think this one has an up or a down, but on this side it does. So we have this one that we'll put on one side, and then the middle is a strip cut off of that stripy paper of a 1/2 inch. And then we have the stripy paper. There's the other side. And so there is how we did our layout. So I'm going to make that kind of go opposite. So I want this piece here and this piece here, and then this, and then the 1/2 inch strip down the middle. And that way, when they're side by side, the stripes will butt up to each other. Now, the stripes are directional too. Make sure when you cut them that you cut them in a way that your stripes will not be going the wrong way unless that's how you want it to look. I mean, really think about how you cut that paper so you don't, you don't want to waste any paper. And this piece is 4.5 inches wide. All right, so I'm going to put this on. The other thing that I've done, yesterday while I went to my dad's, he's all ready for Halloween, and I also I got all my winter clothes out of my closet. We live in a small enough house that, we have to have our winter stuff in a separate place than the summer stuff. And so transitioning from summer to winter is always a little bit of a tricky thing, because sometimes you still need some of your summer clothes. I mean, it's not totally winter yet. It feels like it today, but and we did get flurries, just saying. We did have flurries, but it's supposed to be in the 60s again in a few days. So I'm like, well, I'm not totally ready to put all my summer stuff away. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that right in the middle, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna raise my camera up a little. All right, so side by side, you can see I have the triangles both kind of going this direction, which gives me a swath of that mink in the background, right? Now you could have turned that any way. You could have done it this, any way you like, but I wanted it like this. And I made sure my bells were upside down, upright and not upside down. And I made sure all my stripes were going the right direction, so that leaves that side by side. Now, when I look at this, isn't this cluster cool? I'm just showing you this in case you want to recreate this left page. Basically, it's all stickers. So there's a little foiled pine cone, a little leaf there, a circle that's popped up with foam, and the ornament that's popped up, and then there's some gems, small, medium, large on there if you want to redo that on the left side. And then these two toffee pieces are 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, so that they'll leave a mat around your photo. This little piece right here is from the sticker sheet, and it's actually a circle that we cut in half and then just tucked that in. So I want to make sure to use the other half of that on the companion side if I can. This little cluster is that big bow sticker. This is one thing I really like about this set, is that, gosh, this would be a cool just on a card by itself, or it makes a really neat look on a scrapbook page. So there is a silver foiled leafy berry print here, and I intentionally took some of the sticky off of the back so that I could slide my photo under it. This is with foam tape, and again, small, medium silver dots. They're actually, I mean, honestly, they're not silver. I think they're like charcoal. but you get what I mean. When you look at the dots, it's like, well, they're silver and gold. But again, see, those are actually toffee and white and I think a charcoal. So I'm going to call them silver and gold, but they're not quite gold. If you're expecting gold, you're going to be like disappointed in that. Okay, so one of the things that I really liked about this was they made this big piece here that is like a journaling piece, and it measures hold on, let me measure it where I can see it. It is 3¼ by, I want to say 10. Let me check. 9¾ is the charcoal piece. And then they just layered it with a toffee and a white. And that way it left space for journaling. And it just, I just love it. And I like how these two cross over each other. And I intentionally, when I put my foam tape on, I did not peel the sticky off because I want to be able to slide my photo in there knowing it will cover a little. I just wanted to be sure I could slide my photo in. And if it covers something important, I'll just make it a smaller photo there. It's no big deal. But I really like having this journaling space. So because I liked this long charcoal piece, I wanted to do another long charcoal piece over here. And so what I did was I cut this piece. There's the dark and the light. You can see that together. So I'm using the light side of charcoal. And I decided I wanted it, instead of going upright, I don't want it to match. I'm going to make this one horizontal here. And then I need another horizontal. Most of my photos that I take on my phone, I try to take an equal amount of horizontal and vertical. So I could make this vertical or I could make this horizontal, but I like the idea of making it horizontal. And I want this to be the photo of the whole family, like that we get everybody together and take a snapshot, and this will be the highlighted photo. So I double matted it. I put a charcoal mat around. So this one, toffee, is 4¼ by 6¼ and then this one is 4½ by 6½, and that way it will make a double mat for my picture. And I'm using the dark side of the toffee. Let me just move that in here so that I can make sure that's somewhat even. I'm not always perfect about being straight when I have it ahead of me like that, and I'll probably put it like right there. And then this one, I cut this to be, what I did was I was like, I want 2 4x4 photos down here at the bottom. So I cut these at 4¼ by 4¼ and I have 2 of them. And then I was like, okay, so that makes 4¼ and 4¼ makes 8½. And then I need 1/4 inch on each side, or an 1/8 inch on each side. So add another 1/4, that makes 9, and another in the center. So this is 9, and it should be 9 1/4. Yep, 9 1/4. There we go. So I just wanted to set this up so that it had 2 4x4s. I don't want to confuse everybody with my crazy math mind, the way I think of things. But basically, I try to make it so that there's even mat on all 4 sides here, and an even mat on all the sides here. And then I'm cool with that space in the middle. Like, I could even just trim that and have 2 separate pieces. But because this long charcoal pieces here. I like the idea of a long charcoal piece here. Okay, so there's where I am with my companion piece so far. And we have a, over here, believe in the magic, and that would be fine as a title. Or I could do something more, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and splurge and use, do I want to use this Big Season's Greetings? Oh, it's so pretty. I think I do. I think I'm gonna save this one for my silver page with the silver foil that I'm gonna use. And I'm gonna use this Season's Greetings. And I think I'm gonna use this little ornament. And of course I wanna use my half circle, and then we'll see how we are from there. Now, I ran out of my wider foam tape, so I'm opening a new package here of the thin foam tape, and I like to use the wider size whenever I can. So I was kind of thinking, oh, it just feels wrong to really stick with all this Christmas stuff. Like, I don't want to show all Christmas all day long for the rest of this catalog. But on the other hand, our time is short, kind of, for crafting. When you're thinking of, you know, Christmas crafting, you almost have to kind of start now or be in a flurry of activity trying to get things done. So I decided, I'm going to start showing all this Christmas stuff. It feels early to me because, you know, we just had Halloween. But, I want to give you as many ideas as possible. Now, the reason I am putting my foam tape like this, which is a little weird, is because I think this side may cover my photos a little bit, and I want to be able to, slide my photo in at the bottom and at the side. So when I remove my adhesive, I'm going to remove it in a way so that the bottom piece and the top piece are still covered. And I'm going to put it overlapping just a little, just like that. So see, I still have a way to get my photo in there, and I still have a way to get my photo under there. And I can always, you know, slide in there and remove that backing later if I want to, or I don't have to. I mean, it's acid free, but you know, if you want to stick it down, no problem. Now this little half wreath, I'm sorry, my words aren't coming. I think I'm going to slide it underneath here. And that way it'll be like opposite of the other page. And then I have this really cool ornament, which I think needs to go there. Now, since it's going to be partially on top of a popped up thing already, I only need the foam at the top. So I'm going to put it like that. And I just don't want it to get squished down. That's the, like sometimes when you get them into albums, if you have a big gap where there's no foam, it'll sink down and make your sticker wavery or whatever. And so I just want to make sure that that is secure at the top and secure here so it doesn't sink. All right. One of the things that Close to My Heart does a lot is they use the anti-static pouch on the back of these stickers. And I do not. I do not do that. So up to you whether you do that or not. To me, it's a sticker. It's got stuff on it. It's cool. All right. I feel like I need another little something there, but I don't know. I don't have much on my sticker sheet now. I have All Is Bright, but I already have Season's Greetings. I have several little word tags. I have Rejoice. Let me just see. Nah, I don't want more words. I don't want more words on it. My other option, I do love the Celebrate the Celebrate the Season is perfect because it's that color. I'm going to put it down here with my wreath. It just highlights that. I don't know if I'm on camera with that, but it just highlights the charcoal that we used. And there are a few little stars and things and bells and things that I can use. I'm going to save, I kind of want to save these for my silver layout that I'm going to be making. And so that brings me to the stamp set, because now I'm out of stickers on my sticker sheet. I'm going to look and see what I have on my stamp set. I do have a few little stars. I kind of want to try to decide what I want to do with this, but I do kind of like the idea of having this little star here too. Okay, so what I did was I cut a whole bunch of these images. Now, which one to use? We already have, oh, we don't have the bells. We already have kind of a bowy ornament here. So maybe a couple of the smaller ornaments we could use. That's just an option. I cut a whole bunch of different ones so that we could play a little bit. So it's really nice to be able to cut out the images and just play with what you think would look nice. I think I would like a couple of these. So it'll make like a trio. I think I'm going to do that. Okay. And then put that in there. Get this out of my way. I have my block. Now, one of the things that I think would look really amazing on here is if we gold embossed it. But there's not a lot of gold embossing. This is actually done in toffee. I like the idea of doing it just like this ornament here so that it kind of blends in, you know? So, oh, gotta use a bigger block. I'll use that one. I think I'm going to use the toffee ink to stamp the image so that it matches this one. So now I don't know, I think I used this during the launch, but I'm not sure. But just in case, I'm going to stamp it in a sample just so I can see it. Make sure it stamps well. And then there's one. There's two. I'm going to stamp 3 while I'm messing around here. There's 3. Gosh, I had them all stuck together. This is one thing I do a lot is when I cut these out, I double over my paper, so I cut 2 at a time because, lazy. And I like to have all the extras, right? And boy, this one, it's very tempting. It's very tempting to do this greenery one. I can't decide. We'll just do these. just for sake of time. And then I kind of want to color these in a really light charcoal. Now there's a couple ways I can do that. Colored pencils, or I could watercolor with the charcoal. I have an extra one, so I can try both, but, all right. Let me just grab my rag, my trusty rag. Oh, I gotta find one that has water in it. That would be good. I always have my junky rag around to make sure everything is cleaned off. And I'm just gonna squeeze the pad a little bit to put a little ink in the top. Is that in camera? Okay. And then I'm just gonna add a little water. Okay. And then I just want to do a really light kind of wash of the charcoal. And I'm doing it a little darker at the edge, just like the stamped image shows. And then I'm going to use just the water in here, like that. Oh, I like that. Now, one thing about stamping in toffee is that when you stamp in toffee ink, it will run in the water. So if I put water all over this, you're gonna see it. The other way you can, I just use as minimal amount of water as I can. So I'm gonna put water all over it and then touch it to my color. And I'm gonna tap color on. Just like that. By putting water on the whole thing, it makes it flow a little better. And then if you're using your darker color over where the toffee has stamped, it'll kind of mix with your toffee. Now, if you were using a pink, for example, you would see that toffee bleed into your pink. So you'd have to figure out, you'd probably want to use pencils. And you can even see it bleed just a little bit in there, but it looks pretty good. I think it looks really nice, actually, just like that. I don't know. I like how it looks, so I'm just gonna do those two. All right. Kind of wipe that off. I don't have it totally wiped off, but just a little, so it's not making my charcoal pad too light. So I want then to do something like this. Now, the other thing to me that is a glaring, obvious missing thing is the strings to the ornaments, because they aren't just hanging there. And so I could use silver or gold metallic. Let me grab my silver. I kind of like the idea of using silver on it. So let's go ahead and put these into place. They're a little wet, so I'm going to put one here. One here. It's really nice to have the, like the stamp set that goes with your paper. If you're doing the workshop, that's one thing. I'm gonna put like a little loop, and then we'll do a string and a string and a loop. We have to do our sticker too. And a string. It just looks, I don't know, it's crooked, but whatever. And then I'm gonna make it look like it's got a loop of like it's tied. I don't know. I just like how it looks better. Okay, now the other, let me just make that a little wider. I want it to show more. If you're really worried about, you know, I can't make a straight line to save my life, you can use a ruler. You could use the thicker marker. It's a little more forgiving in that you can, when you draw, you know, the wider tip does help a little bit with that. I just want it to show. Okay, so I really like this companion page just the way it is, but I want to add some bling because the other side has bling. And let me see. Excuse me. I ate some peanuts right before I ate some peanuts right before I came online, and now I'm like coughing because of the coating on them or whatever. All right. This side we use silver charcoal bling, so that's what I'm going to use over here. And you can put it any way, you know, any way you want. I want it to show, so I'm going to put there. Cool. And I think I want a little piece, a little something down here as well. So I think I'm going to put this here and here. Cool, cool, cool. I love it. All right, I think that works. And so now I have a companion page. I have, and you know, you could have made it like, you could make it like this. It could go either way, depending on how your pictures are, right? So I really love doing the cluster. I love using the stamps with it. Neat. And I may, I don't think I have to color over that more, but I could to make it a little darker, to match this one, but I like how it looks. I love this big pop-up sticker. There's what I did at the bottom. You could do anything you wanted. I really love how this all goes together. I'm gonna raise it up so you can see both pages. And my mind was, I always like my journaling on the right-hand side, so it makes more sense for this to be over here. So I could just do it just like this, and I've kind of made this my highlight photo of the family, but I may switch it up. It just depends on how my photos fall out. Cool. Okay. So Friday, I think I'm going to work on, we're going to recreate that cool Thanksgiving page that's in the catalog. I just think it's so cool. It's perfect for Thanksgiving. And I need a Thanksgiving page this year, so that's perfect. And then next week, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I haven't done cards for a little while. I'm going to do scrapbook pages this week. So maybe next week I'll make a couple of cards. We'll see. So, all right. I hope you all have a lovely afternoon, and I hope it warms up for you a little bit so you can have a fun weekend. All right. I'm so glad you like it, Alice. Yeah, I know, right? It's you thought they were silver and gold. I'll tell you what, they look silver and gold. They really do, but it's toffee and charcoal. And so if you're going to buy papers to coordinate with your paper pack, make sure you buy the cardstock that is like this. And if you want to add some glitz, you could add the metallics and see how that works. But this is really neat. I love it. I love how it gives it such an elegant look. And yet our pictures are not elegant. Our family is very casual at Christmas. We do not have a formal situation, but we do the photo in front of the tree. We do have the unwrapping presents. We have the picture of the tree. I mean, we have plenty of pictures that'll look gorgeous on this paper. So I'm not worried about it. So cool. All right. Thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting me. And I hope that those triangle trees come back in stock really soon so that everybody can stock up on their set. So then I'll wait to show them until they're available. I was going to do triangle trees this week, but it just seemed cruel since you can't buy them yet. So, all right. Chat later. Bye-bye.